Now, in an era where we consistently get garbage isekai every season, no seriously, there are like 5 good ones total, we have to go back to the original pioneer of this game, Sword Art Online. And this video I'm going to specifically be going over my glorious black swordsman. No, not this fake, his chain already been snatched. I'm talking about the original OPMC, Kirito. Now, there are a lot of mixed opinions on SAO, but I'll tell you this for free. While they're actually in the game Sword Art Online, this show is peak, so cut the small talk. Let's go. So I'm going to skim through all the boring shit, because at the end of the day, we're focused on Kazuto Run This Fate Kirigaya, aka Kirito. So there's this new VR console called Nerve Gear, and a new game everyone will be hopping on called Sword Art Online. One thing led to another, which made it so nobody could actually leave the game once they put the Nerve Gear on, and yada yada yada, and now they have to clear the game in order to actually be able to take it off. By the way, if you die in game, you just die in real life. Wait, am I reading that shit right? Yo, who let this release? Ref, do something! And the people of this game, after hearing this, spit into whoever wanted to live inside as regular schmegular dudes and the heroes who wanted to clear the game. But shit, if I decided to be a hero, I will not let that shit fly. I'd be taxing them niggas relentlessly. Because I mean I could die at a moment's notice and you're just here snuggled up next to a fine big titty demi-human NPC. Like, no, I ain't gonna stand for that. Now our MC here is in his edgy era because there's some sort of segregation going on against people who were beta testers, which Kirito was. They're saying that it's their fault that people have died already and that they're withholding information even though they literally created the guidebook for these guys. Niggas stay ungrateful, man. But this wannabe leader rallies up some of the people with balls to clear the first floor boss. And they're forming up parties, but our loner MC got no steez. Nigga got no motion. He ends up partying with this other solo woman. Then the day of the raid comes and the blue-haired fake leader, whose name I forgot after literally seeing it like 40 seconds ago. Hey, you know what? I don't even care enough to check again. That nigga's a bum. Anyway, he's sitting there calling all the shots like, whose mans is this? Nigga putting in no work too. He's just pretending like he's doing something. And they're taking on the boss now. And you know Kirito's party is cooking up. Everyone gets the boss weak as hell. And this fraud just demands that nobody else steps in. And he will kill it himself. Nigga is not slick. I know he's trying to get some extra credit. But the info he has on the floor boss from beta testers was outdated. So he gets caught slipping and now gets dropped by the boss. I know this is meant to be emotional, but nah, nobody is genuinely just a moron. Like, have you never heard the phrase, don't be a hero? That role is not for people like me and you. Yes, me and you. Shit, if I was there, I'd be with them NPC Tutianas getting hot spring massages all day. But he's all like, help everyone out, it's my final wish. Like, no nigga, I don't know you. But of course, Kirito's an anime protagonist and locks in. Him and that fine shit Asuna are cooking up, but the boss hits that counter. Fortunately, the rest of the fodder helps stall the boss. Actually, let me retract that. Nick Fury over here isn't fodder, he cool. Kirito recovers and him and Asuna go for the get back. He parries and Asuna follows up right after. They got 100 chemistry. Then Kirito delivers the final blow after this clean attack. Now after saving the bums, this guy starts going off about how Kirito knew the boss's abilities and didn't say anything. Like, really bro, are we serious? It's not his fault that this bum ran into his own death. But Kirito think he called her someone, starts laughing to himself before saying, beta tester, those niggas are bums. I reach a level even further than that. Don't compare me to them. Then these guys start talking like he's 2012 Vaughn.
If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
Calling him a beta tester cheater. Now Kirito going around calling himself a beater. Like, dog, this shit is not cold. Who was he feeling like? But he puts on his long black trench coat. Bro been doing this shit way before Sung Jin Woo and walks off by himself on some aura farming shit. He also disbands his party with Asuna just before too. So Kirito's a solo player, but he ends up helping this group of scrubs that allow him to join their guild. He's lying about being some like level 20 bum, but he's actually level 40. Now they decide that they're going on a little mission and they enter a dungeon together. But before this, the girl's actually setting up hella death flags, talking about some, what are we gonna do? Well, like, you know, after the fuck, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, gang, you cannot be doing this shit in anime. So they enter one of the dungeon rooms and see a treasure chest, and this dumbass really runs over all jolly thinking shit is sweet. Even when Kirito was shouting, no, don't do it. I wonder if he still thought shit was sweet when the skeleton started mining him like he was lapis lazuli. But yeah, these sorry ass niggas are getting squad wiped. Only Kirito is holding his own. And the Sachi girl holds this final blow, and it skips like 6 months later, and now Kirito's on his extra edgy arc exclusively on solo missions. He hears a rumor there's a boss that revives people from the dead. He off-screens it, but finds out only like works within 10 seconds, so he can't use it on Sachi. He returns to his room and receives a message from Sachi, who's meant to be dead. And yeah, that's true. He had it pre-recorded to send on Christmas, assuming that she'd be dead by then. I'm not gonna lie, this shit was sad. She was a real one. She told him not to blame himself and sung a little song for him. If you've ever watched this scene, I wouldn't blame you for tearing up a little, I ain't gonna lie. Shit, even Kirito did. But the reason I explained all this was to display the birth of who we call the Black Swordsman. Fast forward a little bit and this weirdo dude Kirito is scaring all the hoes away. Asuna is hiding behind Kirito despite literally 15 frames ago, he was touching all up on her boobs. Yes, it was a misunderstanding. But this is a prime case of flirting versus harassment. You cannot be chopped in this life. The whole issue is that Kirito, who's meant to be her escort as part of her guild, is doing too much and is waiting outside her house watching her and shit. Nice guys always finish last, man. He's just trying to be helpful. He's trying to go back to the headquarters, but Kirito's like, nah, fuck all that. I'm her knight for today. Beta scum? I'll totally wash you in a fade. And Kirito's like, shit, let's run it then, twin. So then they start their duel and Kirito straight violates him. He shatters his sword, then Kirito tries to spin back with Asuna's telling him, nah, he's going outside. There's no way I lost. He had to have been cheating. There's just no way I lost some dirty beta. Dog, chill. They throwing around that word like it's an actual slur. Then Asuna's like, Kirito gang, you sorry bro, get the fuck on my face. So now they can finally go out for what they originally planned to, which was to explore the dungeon. But the little date is cut short by Klein and his crew, who's on some cock block and shit. He's selling the ISO, and after some idle chit chat, this other group pulls up and starts demanding that Kirito runs his pockets and they need a map he made. Kirito's like, whatever gang, I was gonna share the shit anyway, and he gives it to them. And they're trying to go fight the boss. Kirito thinks this might be the case and he follows after them. And yo, they are letting out some devilish screams. That boss is beating the brakes off them. Kirito's group is deliberating if they should rush in there and help, but they low-key don't have any reason to. Then this father gets banged across the floor looking like he's about to get up and say, that wasn't nothing. But no, old buddy literally just dies. Asuna couldn't accept the shit that she just saw, so she runs in like a dumbass. And that was enough for our black swordsman. He just has to go and save the day. Like, oh my god, do something for us, bro. Damn. Asuna lands some strikes, but that shit does no damage. Then the boss just hits this gnarly two-piece combo. Holy shit, a side of fries and she would have never walked again. Kirito swoops in with his new drip and deflects the attack before sneaking the boss from behind, but again, minimal damage. They go blow for blow, but the boss is just doing too much. So he had Kirito running back. You know, he had to stay clean though. So he flips into the slide backwards. Now, Kirito is talking about some, should I use it? Do I have to? Like, bro, look around you. Asuna just got baked by this thing. The father is literally about to die and Klein is sorry. What are we waiting for? So Kirito finally decides to lock in and tells Asuna and Klein to buy him 10 seconds while he cooks. And my boy backs up the diamond sword, hits the boss and then proceeds to stunt with this mean ass pose. He cross blocks the next attack and starts with this hard ass move, Starburst Stream. Now if a nigga like Mineta did this, I would have called him free, but this is Kirito we're talking about. So you know that shit was tough. And oh, nah, old buddy is moving. We're getting combos on combos. He's moving like those dudes who are doing tutorials but not slowing down for us to learn. Like, gang, we cannot see what you're doing. Kirito's getting hit at the same time as this combo though, but that shit did not matter to him because he's gonna change hand mid-fight. That was clean. That was clean. He lands the final blow and defeats the floor boss basically on his own. And look how he hits this pose after the dub. He's trying to get an Instagram flick. Shit probably captioned, I had to boss up, so I put ice on both my wrists. Yo, is that shit not insanely hard? Someone sign me. So Asuna wants to party up with Kirito now, and that means she'll have to leave her guild, the Knights of Blood Oath. And the leader, Heathcliff, calls the two of them in. He's like, no, you cannot take Asuna, she's too bad. I mean, she's our second in command. But he will only let her leave on the condition that Kirito beats him in a duel. And you know Kirito's never ducked the fate, so he's like, yeah, let's run it. Fast forward to the next day and the seats are sold out and shit, everyone is trying to watch. Let's stop the small talk and get to the boxing. And old buddy's one of those shield guys. I knew he was corny, but Kirito's still pressing him. Heathcliff ain't all defending though. He cracks Kirito in the guts and knocks the spit out this man. They exchanging though, and Kirito is just getting faster and he finally catches Heathcliff. That combo of his is infinite. He just dash resets and starts going in again. This time he's really about to connect on Heathcliff. But shit, SAO is a game at the end of the day. That shit glitches and Heathcliff ends up winning. Niggas really be cheating in this shit. So Kirito now has to become a knight and he swaps his color palette, but hey, he still look clean in this, I ain't gonna lie. So since Kirito's in the guild now, he sees Kirito again and Kirito apologizes to squash the beef. They have to do some trading together, and when they're resting together, they stop for a bit of food and water. But I ain't gonna lie, this shit was a setup. Kirito had poisoned the water and paralyzed Kirito and the instructor. And hey, Kirito is really a sicko because he has no mercy killing the instructor. Like, damn, what did he even do? Peep this guy's face too. What the fuck is this? Now Kirito is moving on to Kirito and he's playing with his food. He's laughing in his face, talking about some, what's happened, bitch ass nigga? You were talking all that shit. And Kirito just has to take it. And just as he's about to die, Asuna steps in, rocks Kirito's shit, and heals Kirito. But Kirito is still paralyzed, so she's gonna have to do the boxing. I'm not gonna lie, she's working Kirito. Had bro falling, stumbling, and on all fours, begging for his life. But Asuna's kind and she's not really trying to kill him. And on the other end of that stick, Kirito is slimy as hell. So he sneaks her, and just as he's about to deliver the finishing blow, Kirito stops her with his hand, losing it in the process. But he gets that shit back in blood and kills Kirito, no questions asked. That's my dog. And right after too, he's gonna turn around and kiss Asuna. Like, damn, you got it, bro. We know you're tough. Then he basically proposes then and there and ends it off with, I want to stay with you tonight. He clean. He clean. And this next part not even really relevant to the story, but they go back home, and after dinner, Asuna just starts undressing. She was ready to take that twin blade. But the whole time, it was just a misunderstanding. Kirito just wanted to sleep in the same room. This nigga really be pulling too easily. I skipped over like 3 other girls he had feeding for him. Do not get this shit confused. The next couple episodes, they meet this girl called Yuki, who's actually like a code in the game and isn't an actual person. They adopt her. She ends up returning to the game's code or some shit. It's actually sad. It's a good part of the series. I just don't really care about it right now because it doesn't fit my agenda. I'm just trying to show Kirito steez. So now we're at the climax. Basically, like every hunter's pulling up on a raid in the 85th floor or something. And when they arrive, they're faced with this big ass centipede skeleton. Normally, I'd make a joke saying this looks like something, but nah, I don't even got nothing. What the fuck is this? And this is not a joke. This shit is really out here banging niggas. Look! Asuna's trying to catch the bodies flying across the screen, but these shits are just disappearing with the wind. I'm crying. So as the father is getting worked, Heathcliff steps in and blocks the attack, while Kirito stops the attack of the other claw with Asuna backing him up. All the crew steps in now to help against the boss, while Heathcliff keeps it occupied, so they finally defeat it. So now the whole squad is counting up the deaths, and Kirito's feeling some type of way. He keeps thinking about that time he ran the ones against Heathcliff, and it was low-key getting tight. He can't stand the loss. He gets up and tries to sneak him, but it doesn't work. Above his head, there's a reading that says immortal object, and this is where we see Heathcliff's true colors. Kirito's like, I knew this bitch ass nigga was actually the creator of this game. I know I'm not sorry. There's no way I was losing that duel. And Heathcliff's like, man, shit, you right. I was trying to keep this shit hidden to the 100th floor, but whatever. And then he just pulls out his mods and start paralyzing everybody. Like, this is that BO2 Xbox 360 hacked lobby type shit. Now, Heathcliff isn't even trying to rage bait, but he's talking crazy. It's just in his genes. He's like, I fuck nigga, meet me under the, wait, is that the right voice? No, he's like, I fucking, how did I voice this? New voice. I nigga, meet me on the top floor or whatever. We can run this fade right now if you'd like. I'll even turn off my cheats. And you know, Kirito's never ducked that smoke before, so he steps up, but not before saying his goodbyes. Hey, Ego man, you was a real nigga, man. You were the best of the bums. Klein, you sorry, but you were kinda chill. And he don't even say nothing to Asuna. That's how you know he got motion. He only asked that in case he loses. Heathcliff shouldn't let Asuna kill herself for a while. I don't know what type of game this is, but hey, I'll take some notes. I've never knocked another man's grind, except Mineta. Fuck that nigga. And so, the squabbling commences. They charge at each other, Kirito gets blocked, but the boss Loki gave bro a shape up. He cutting it close, no pun intended. And just like the last time, they're moving. Kirito realizes his combos aren't gonna land because this guy literally programmed them. So he's gonna have to go beyond. But I'm not sure what you guys thought this was. He's going up against the god of this game. He's good. His sword snaps in half, and Heathcliff has his counter lined up. It's over. Except Asuna jumps in. Now, can someone tell me why they be doing this bullshit? Was she just banking on a power friendship moment? Because he's just gonna slump Kirito right after. I never understood why anime characters always be doing dumb shits. But shit, you guessed it. This shakes Kirito's whole world, man. Because she real life burst into some code dang. R.I.P. Asuna was a real one, and Kirito has lost his will. He's just throwing some weak shit, and Heathcliff just feels bad now, so he stabs old buddy in the chest, killing him. Or so we thought. This nigga just glitched himself back into the game and stabs Heathcliff in the chest as well. Now with that, SEO was cleared. Now we have Kirito standing on the sky, but he hears a familiar voice. His beloved NPC Tutiana. Oh, never mind, it's just Asuna. But you know how it goes. They share a heartfelt moment, they kiss. Kayaba, who's actually Heathcliff, is there too, and they're asking why on earth did you do all this, and he says he forgot. You forgot? Now I'm getting mad too, and I wasn't even in that bitch. Let's kill him again. But yeah, nigga says congrats and just turns to dust, leaving Asuna and Kirito. Together they liberated the whole world of SAO. They found a reason to live amidst the chaos and drew strength from one another. Their bond was true. And in their final moments they shared their real names before Kirito was brought to tears as he failed to keep his promise to send Asuna back too. And in each other's arms they both die. Then Kirito opens his eyes in the real world. Yeah, you thought because I was getting all serious them niggas actually died? Hell no, this is a shonen isekai for crying out loud. But this is the end of the SAO part of Sword Art Online, and to be honest, the next half is kind of a shit show until season 2, which picks it up again. If you want me to cover Alpha and Gun Gale or even Alicization in the future, make sure to like and subscribe so I know what you guys want. Also comment down below what side you'd pick if you're an SAO. One of the floor clearers, or are you a bitch who just settles down? Anyway, hey, it's been Narratives, peace out. Now you guys were cooking up on the last SAO vid, so I had to drop everything I was doing and head into the lab to cook up some new shit. Except the shit I cooked up is unfortunately based on some hot booty cheeks, but I got to entertain nonetheless. We're revisiting our not actually black swordsman, Kirito. This time in the world of Alfheim. I'll just preface with this, there's a lot of weird shit, including sisters, tentacles, predator. Now if at any point in this video it sounds like a double barrel shotgun stuffed up my nose, it's because I was sick at the time of recording, so please bear with me. But hey, cut the small talk, let's go. So Kirito, who just freshly got freed from a game after like 2 years, is already scratching his neck tweaking like somebody battling addiction because this nigga still has that damn headset in his room. When will these anime protagonists learn? And since Sword Art Online is gone, he can't even meet up with his big titty demi-human NPC that I know he was feeling in there. So what's even the point anymore? Anyway, this is Kirito's cousin. Yes, no nuances, no special circumstances. It's his cousin, but they've basically been living with each other since childhood because his parents died when he was younger, and he thinks of her as his sister. Kirito's undergone some rehab now because, you know, he woke up from his 2-year sleep looking like a 1 elixir skeleton, and now all of a sudden he wants to spar against his cousin Suga in Kendo. Bear in mind, Suga is like a quarter-finalist for the entire region. Kirito's just a guy who used swords in VR, and Kirito's low-key talking shit too. He's saying, hey, why is this shit kind of light? I'm used to that heavier shit. By the way, let's run the one. And Suguha accepts. Little does she know she's talking to the black swordsman. And now Kirito gets into his stance and he got this shit right from the game. Even Suguha is clowning him. But then the boxing commences and they're actually moving. Kirito's swinging but not connecting, but at the same time he's weaving all the counters. Where was all this when Heathcliff dropped you in front of your main squeeze? Now, unfortunately for Kirito, this is real life. There are no Starburst streams. He gets his shit rocked. But for someone who was a vegetable for like 2 years, he tried. I'll give him his credit. So Kirito's living his life now, but wants to link up with his e-wife Asuna, but she's still in the nerve gear coma and never woke up. Kirito visits her in the hospital, and I honestly wonder how the conversation went to her parents. Hey, I'm your new son-in-law. I pulled this body after helping her kill some creep in the game. Get the fuck out of my house. But now we get into some bullshit. So we meet Sugo, who works for Asuna's dad, who is also the man who Asuna is arranged to marry. Yes, You are hearing me. These niggas arranged a marriage for a woman in a coma. This is the highest level of spawn gangbang I've ever seen. He might just want it more. Now Sugo's freak ass is feeling up on Asuna. He's smelling her hair, caressing her face. Shit, Kirito is a better man than me. I would have started letting my grenade launcher sing in that bitch. Nobody is leaving alive. But he grabs onto his arm, and we've seen this type of stunt before from when he banged up Kirito. This is foreshadowing 101, guys. So Sugo's like, yeah, I'm marrying her in a week, bitch ass nigga, so say your goodbyes and leave. Anyway, Kirito is all sad after this, and to cheer him up, Sugo sleeps next to him in his bed. Yeah. Then Kirito does the only thing he knows how to and boots up his nerve gear again, despite that shit putting him in a comatose for 24 months, literally 8 weeks ago. Anyway, he picks the edgiest race in the game called Spriggan in true Kirito fashion and loads up into the world of Alpine. For the load up, it starts glitching, and when I tell you I would have took that headset off so fast because that shit is not happening again. Luckily, it doesn't mean anything and he just loads in. Shit, at least the first thing he does is check if he can log out. He still has all his abilities and items for SAO, and he ends up like summoning Yui again. They have a nice warm reunion, but once again, unfortunately, we do not care. This doesn't fit my agenda. This video is about Kirito's steez. So this group of guys are ganging up on this girl who, spoiler alert, is really Kirito's cousin. And you know, our black swordsman, who's really just a white knight in disguise, cannot let the damsel in distress just go by. He always taking all the hoes, like damn, leave some for us, you already got Asuna. So they attack and Kirito stops him with one hand before swatting him away like a fly. Shit, you're really a grown ass man getting banged up like this? Then he's gonna flash up the next nigga and he just burst into flames. I'm dead. So yeah, Kirito packs them all up and they really just put the scene in here to remind us that damn, this nigga is really him. Lifa, who is actually Suga, leads Kirito to the guild, and after she logs off, she's getting all flustered, face bright red, and man, this is making me mad. This is real life. Pack it in. Then we cut to our favorite twin blade loving female character Asuna, and she's looking mad sad. She's missing her black swordsman. Unfortunately, she got to deal with this loser bum Sugo who has her locked in a cage in Alpine, and he's tweaking, feeling all up on Asuna who isn't jacking him. He's talking about some, actually no, fuck that, I can't even repeat the bullshit he's saying. Just know, we are all jumping this nigga the second the opportunity presents itself. My boy needs to upgrade his drip, and that leads into the sword shop where he cops a new sword, and oh my goodness, he has fully snatched Guts' chain. You are no longer the black swordsman. First he took your name, now the sword, turn it off. So they end up in this cave and they're getting tracked by this bat familiar, but Lifa has set up detection on max level, so she realizes they have got to go before they really get lined. They're trying to run to the lake city, but unfortunately for them, it's too late. They got pulled up on 12 man deep. It's over. Kirito's like, let me handle this, you just back up and heal me. And shit, Lifa had no problems listening. She does not want to be out there box. She's just like those boosted support players in Marvel Rivals. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Rocket Mains. So Kirito rushes in, these guys got set plays and they hit him with that low block. He is not breaking this, and right after they counter with this fire spell, and damn, if not for Lifa healing him, he would have seriously been injured. He tries the same thing again, but that has the same result. I don't know why the fuck he did this too. Have you never heard the saying that doing the same thing and expecting different results is madness? That's philosophical narratives right there. So Yui's like, you have to shit. You have to do everything to shield Kirito from the next attack. And while Kirito's in the shield, he uses his own illusion magic to transform. And wait, this is literally one of his dead ops. This shit is really slimy. He may as well have pissed on his grave. Then he rushes at the opponents and skewers this nigga. Holy shit. If this happened to me in the first person, I'd come out of the game needing therapy. So it cuts to the commander and he's like, stand your ground, it's not real. It's not real? It's not real? Is this nigga serious? Look at what just happened. There's a fresh set of barbecue chicken on the ground next to you. And you're talking about it's not real. My nigga, that is your boy. And peep how the others are looking at him after he said that bullshit. They know he's wildin'. And damn, these guys are getting straight belt to ass. He is not letting anybody go. He might really be going for a napalm strike. So yeah, he's going for the final blow, but Lifa's telling him to chill so they can question him. And she starts making demands, drawing her swords and shit. She thinks she's on the team. But the side character number 77 isn't a snitch and is holding it down. But this is where Kirito steps in and he's like, alright, bitch ass nigga, you saw how I ran your whole batch's pockets. But I ain't even on all that violence. Just give me the drop and I'll let you leave with your dead homie's shoes. And hey, they must have been something clean because old buddy started singing like Adele. Shit, they even chopping it up after. So Lifa and Kirito receive news that the salamanders are trying to take over another race. And despite Kirito needing to clear the world tree to find Asuna, he decided that stopping roleplay discrimination was of higher importance than saving his fucking wife. Then again, he might just be doing all of this for some aura, cause peep this pull up. Kirito demands to see the commander, and the commander got this disgusted look on his face, like he's staring at some e-dating, edgy, stupid decision making dumbass. Oh wait, that's just Kirito. Shit, at least he's clean with it. But he's like, what is some dirty fucking Spriggan doing? But he's like, what is some dirty Spriggan doing here? Shit, that doesn't matter, I'm going to kill you anyway. And damn, this anime has to chill with saying shit like their slurs. The first beater, now this. So Kirito's like, I'm gonna save everyone, yada yada, on his white knight shit. Then this girl begins the typical anime glaze, talking about some, the General Eugene is the strongest in the entire game and we do not care. You guys can finish this off for me. This video was about Kirito's steez. And so the general is like, I would ever run this fade, just nigga. And so we get to the boxing. And for what might be the first time, Kirito isn't the one starting in the offensive. Kirito tries to block the attack, but Eugene's sword phases right through because that's one of his abilities that can be blocked by shield or sword. But you know broken shit has never stopped Kirito before because he's right back in there clashing with Eugene. And shit, to no surprise, they are moving. And let's get a replay on that dodge. That shit was clean. But Eugene low-key cleaned it for still following up. They're going back and forth now, and I'm sorry to stop this fight again, but can we take a second to appreciate Kirito's outframe fits? Like, I know this is kind of like the Ironclad one, but the black gloves and wings just go so hard. Pair that with the
Oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
Wait, is that glaze? I'm glazing in it. Okay, let me chill. Now, Kirito's low-key getting pieced up because the general sword is too OP, so he's got to reach deep in his bag. He sets up a smoke screen and disappears. Now, this is aura farming 101. He's waiting for everybody to be like, where'd he go? Before he shows up again. I've seen this gimmick before. I'm not a rookie. And shit, that's exactly what he does. Peep the pull-up. Sun shining behind him too. Now, the sword is going to phase through again, but oh my goodness.
This motherfucker clean.
He's got the second sword now. He used the smoke to steal Leafa's shit, and from there he's putting straight to work on Eugene. Put some respect on this nigga's name. They don't call him the twin blade of the black fit Kirito for no reason. They do not call him that. So yeah, Eugene gets pieced up and is healed back up after for negotiation, and they're like, alright, that fade was cold, run it back later. So now the city was saved, and Kirito has 2 more bodies on his hip. This is why I'm tired of this white knight shit, bro. Too many fucking sweats. When I remember none of these politics are real, and they're just role-playing, it'd be making me mad. Like, go to work, damn. So Asuna's trying to escape by herself, working overtime while her husband is saving random niggas in game. And while this is happening, Kirito is visiting her in real life with Suguha. But unfortunately, Asuna gets caught by 2 tentacle monsters who work for Sugo. This scene in its entirety is bullshit. Do not watch this. Anyway, Asuna gets caught and is sent back to the cage. Now we cut back to Suguha and Kirito in game, and now Suguha is crying to Kirito because she is in love with her brother. Who is Kirito? Okay, I'm done with this segment. So these two are in town, and Yui does a scan that can tell Asuna's at the top of the tower. And of course, you know, Kirito's gonna have to storm right in that bitch. But there's a barrier that won't let him go any higher. Yui telepathically contacts Asuna, and she's actually smart, so she drops something to let them know that she's really stuck in there, which is like the admin keycard. Now Kirito knows he has to go up the world tree from the bottom, but it's guarded by guardians that even full raid parties couldn't beat. But they never had Kirito, because he pulls up right to the door by himself, and now he's inside taking on the guardian quest, and shit, it's like 1,000 versus 1. But he got the power of anime bad bitch flashbacks on his side. Ever since I saw this grin, I knew there was no stopping him. Though there's only so much one guy can do. He's getting sprayed down by arrows and gets his sword in his chest right as he's about to reach the top. Then he dies. Shit, at least this time he doesn't die in real life. Then Leafa comes in and takes Kirito's like life orb while evading the guardians and gets up out of there. She has an item that brings people back to life, and now they're back at square one. But shit, Kirito does not care. He's back up and he wants to rerun the fade, and is all like, ugh, I have to save Asuna. But because of this, Leafa, who is actually Suguha, realizes that Kirito is actually her brother Kazuto. Yeah, big surprise, the nigga literally has the same face. But yeah, she's crying and shit because the guy she loves in real life and the guy she loves in game are both her brother. Well, they're actually cousins, but you know, this is a non-factor. I can't believe I'm actually talking about this shit again, but yeah, she's breaking down and confesses her love for her cousin brother Kazuto. Oh, who's actually Kirito, who she finally stopped having feelings about because she found Kirito, but shit, that's still her brother. Anyway, Suguha goes back into the game, and this guy Rekon, who I ain't even gonna lie, has been a part of the story this whole time, but shit, we do not care. This video is about Kirito's thing. The reason I'm including him now is because he's like semi-relevant. Nah, like, I actually don't know why he's here. Let's just speed into the good part. So Rekon confessed to Suguha he also knows her in real life. She says no. Kirito and Suguha have an in-game duel. This shit did not matter. They go back into the Guardian quest. All the other guys help him out too. He takes Suguha's sword, then hits his clean-ass move. The animation here is pretty cool too. You guys should probably watch it for yourself. Now that Kirito broke through, him and Yui realize that they were never even meant to get this far, and this door is blocked by the admin access card. So before they have to fight Infinite Guardians again, they realize they can use the card that Asuna dropped down. She really is the best. Now, finally the good part. They teleport after they open the door and arrive at our glorious Queen Asuna. I wonder what Kirito's gonna say when he's explaining what took him so long. Yeah, sorry, I was busy partaking in in-game racism roleplay. Yui opens the cage and sprints in there hugging Asuna like, nigga, who are you? There's an order to this shit. And yeah, I know she's like meant to be their kid or whatever, but man, you ain't even real.
All y'all going ahead.
And look at Kirito walking in all nonchalant after. I hate guys like this. Why are you trying to be all composed now? She had you acting different when she was gone. But the happy moment is short-lived because Yui just burst into some code. These guys are like 50 times gravity now. Sugo is back and he's being a loser again. and he's really feeling himself. Oh, buddy literally got cheats in this shit. He's so shameless. Now he's doing this weird shit again, and there's not even much Kirito can do. He's even getting banged on low key. He drives his sword into Kirito and is changing the pain receptors so Kirito's actually getting hurt. Now he's licking on Asuna's tears, kissing her, and Kirito really can't do anything. Him and Guts low key the same. Maybe he does deserve the Black Swordsman name. Kirito's talking to the ghost of Heathcliff and he's giving him a pep talk. He's basically like, shit, you weren't this sorry when you were fighting me, bitch ass nigga, so get up. And now Kirito gets to use Heathcliff, the owner of SAO's ID and shit. Now he got some cheats of his own. He sets Sugo to level 1 and Sugo's getting all desperate and tries to spawn in the legendary sword Excalibur, but that shit is not working. And Kirito's like, don't worry bitch ass nigga, I got you. And spawns in Excalibur for him. This low-key disrespectful as hell. Sugo starts throwing this weak shit and I'm getting excited now. Yeah, beat this nigga's ass. Kirito's really working him. He cuts off his arm before asking, it hurts right nigga? Then he chops him in half, picks up his head and skewers him. This Loki wasn't enough, he should have beat the brakes off him more. And now Kirito and Asuna are reunited. They can finally meet in the real world, and so they share a heartfelt hug and she logs out. Then Kayaba's ghost pulls up again and they talking about some bullshit. He gives him a world seed that lets people create games like SAO, then he just disappears again. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Yui's still alive too I guess, but this shit is not over, oh man. Far from it. Now Kirito's rushing back to see Asuna again, but on his way his hand gets slashed. Yes, I am not joking. This nigga Sugo got slumped so badly in game that he logged off and real life pulled out a fucking knife on a 17-year-old. Fuck the referee, where are the police? Sugo charges at Kirito and now he falls over and slashes Kirito, but says, I'm not gonna miss again. But Kirito is still Kirito. And of course I've said Kirito a lot of times. But Kirito is still Kirito, in game or not, and he cannot stand for that. So he reverses Sugo and takes his knife before slamming his face into a truck. Damn, you got it bro. Then he puts the blade to Sugo's neck. Wait, yo, chill. This is real life. We cannot go around killing people. And thank God Kirito at least got a brain, because he just leaves Sugo there before he goes up and finds Asuna staring out the window looking all majestic. God damn, these guys are finally able to see each other, man. I'm happy. And yeah, they share a heartfelt kiss while their avatars disappear into the wind. This is low-key poetic. The SAO OGs all meet up in the real world. They're vibing. Sugo has come to accept the way things are, sort of, and they destroy the world seed and leave the world of VR forever. That's what they should do, right? So tell me why the f these guys are back in here and niggas are dying in real life again. Now that's Alfheim done. This part of SEO was really something else. The designs were pretty cool and most of the IRL bits were good, but overall, it was some booty chips. The people called, so I listened. I just know Kirito hates to see me coming because this time we're visiting the world of Switches and Dracos, none other than Sword Art Online, Gun Gale Online. Well, I guess it'd just be called Gun Gale Online without the other part, but that's besides the point. You see, Kirito is really him in this arc. This might be his best performance. Now, to be honest, I thought Gun Gale was tough as hell. We got cold ass main characters.
This motherfucker clean.
There are no doctor ghosts, you know, no ospals, no plot armor. We got bad too. Wait, who put this in my script? Unfortunately, this is still SAO, so you know there's one or two weirdos walking around, but shit, for their standards, this arc was gas. But you know me by now. Cut the small talk. Let's go. So we're kicking off in the virtual world of the game Gun Gale Online, and this cocky bastard is meant to be the best in the entire game, and he's basically talking shit to the entire player base, and all the side characters are hating on him like he's a nigga who was using TikTok before 2020. Yes, we were all hating too, just accept it bro. Now, you just sit there meat in hand doom scrolling. Some of the players are watching the cocky dude on the big screen in what seems to be a VR bar. Why these niggas are in the VR bar, I don't know, but all of a sudden Revenant from Apex is gonna stand up and point his blick at the screen. Hey, f you Zexseed, you straight bitch. Oh nah, this nigga is wildin'. Then he straight up switches down the screen. Everybody is confused and for good reason. However, I'm not sure why they're not acting like there isn't an active shooter right next to them. Like, hello? Where are the mods? And all but 5 seconds later, this nigga Zexy just has spasming and then just straight up dies. This shit is really wicked. The interviewer is all like, oh, I'm sure he'll reconnect in a second. What sort of risk analysis is this? Were we watching the same nigga? He is literally convulsing right in front of you. Then the culprit starts talking mad crazy, talking about some... But nah, in actuality he's saying some corny bullshit like, I am Death Gun. I'm sorry buddy, that didn't bang. That did not bang. Now we finally get to see our Black Swordsman and he's linking up with his fine shit Asuna in real life. This almost brought me to tears. I'm on my knees. This shit means something to me. They finally get to have a normal life away from all the troubles of virtual reality. Hey look, they even got the same colors as their in-game runs. Something about that's really poetic. Now remember all that shit about living a normal life? No, they got government defense ministries contacting Kirito to save GGO like he's Kai Cenat. Yes, I am not joking. This dude is part of some special defense force VR BS. Shit, if you ask me, he's just a professional loser. He's catching Kirito up on 2 deaths that occurred in real life at the same time as in-game. One being that Zexy dude we saw earlier. And the VR police dude, whose name is Seijiro, formally asked Kirito and he's like, "Aight gang, I need you to lock into GGO and make contact with Deathgun. Preferably switch him down too. Hold on. They real life getting shot in that bitch? Why are you asking me?
Can this nigga not realize I'm only pretending like you got a choice? You're gonna do this job.
So yeah, after some reasoning that shouldn't have worked on any sane person, Kirito agrees to join GGO and come in contact with Deathgun. Hey, now that I'm thinking about it, this shit is literally his fault. You could have destroyed that world seed. Do not play the victim. Now we're getting to some real dogs. We're introduced to this blue-haired sniper, Sinon, and hey, that has got to be a BO2 ballista because she is straight frying her ops. So she has a group she's with and they're about to ambush another group. Now Sinon has her sniper lined up, but we did not need this angle right here.
She kinda bad though.
I ain't nothing but a man, I won't complain. And boom, she pops the first dude, nigga turned into straight code, but unfortunately she missed the second guy. But Buddy did not play about his response, he pulls out a whole minigun, he's getting that shit back in blood. And this shit has the entire squad stressing. No, seriously, look, nigga's grin was so devious, what is this? So all these bums are in a firefight, we don't even care. Then we have Sinon tax sprinting down an active war zone with a sniper. Somebody stop her, this is not Rebirth Island. But hey, she's really moving though. She's out there weaving bullets, then she backflips over the minigun Magnum. Niggas be doing anything for some aura. Now we skip a little bit and him and Sinon are in each other's line of sight. He's got the advantage though, his shit got a switch on it, so Sinon loses a whole leg. Then, when she's free falling, this nigga is gonna miss his entire clip. Are we dead ass? This goes against the basics of gaming. Quick tip, in most shooting games, do not jump in your 1v1s, you're easier to track. I guess that doesn't apply here because this dude holds straight lead to his cranium. That's a Season 7 heavy sniper, 392 damage to the dome, I know that off top. Now we go back to Kirito and these niggas are still playing Al5. Man, get a load of these niggas, we do not care. We on Gun Gale now. So this is Sinon, yes, the sniper from a minute ago, and okay, I know you're all like rabid dogs waiting for Kirito, but don't worry, he is coming. And when he does, oh boy. But this part is important for the story. And Sinon is one of the better characters, so strap in, let's go. So Sinon is getting straight extorted. These chicks are all like, so we totally went overboard at karaoke, so we're gonna need like 10? 10 who? 10 what? 10 bands? These niggas are asking for 10 bands? I will cluster strike your entire neighborhood before I let a nigga tell me to withdraw 10 bands out of my account. Are you crazy? And yes, rightfully so, Sinon stands 10 toes and says no. So the bully ups the tool on her. No, not a real one, finger guns, which shouldn't be a problem, but you see, Sinon has a phobia of guns. Ignore the fact that she plays Gun Gale for now. And just as she's about to get slimed, somebody snitches. It's one of her friends. But in order to learn why she has this phobia, we need a little backstory. See, little Sinon and her mum are in a post office and this tweaker walks in and starts telling the entire shop to run their pockets. And just as they're filling up the bag, he just offs one of the clerks. I don't even know what he did this shit for, it was totally unjustified. Then he starts threatening Sinon's mum. Lil Sinon wasn't a pushover and she bites the man's hand, making him drop the gun. And shit, they're tussling, but old buddy ends up in direct line of sight. Then she shot him not once, not twice, but 3 times. She even got extra score for the headshot. But yeah, it goes without saying, that was a lot for an 11-year-old to digest, so ever since then, she has had a phobia of guns. And now we finally have our boy Kirito on Gun Gale, except he's a femboy now. I guess everybody in Gun Gale just swings that way because the entire server is staring at him. So Kirito ends up meeting Sinon and she thinks he's a girl. And shit, he had to let his pride go and fully commit to the bit. Got him acting sassy as hell. Kirito asks Sinon if she can help him find a cheap gun and also the governor's office to sign up for the Bullets of Bullets tournament. But Kirito is broke as hell and he can't even afford one. However, there's a casino he can go to win. All he needs to do is touch a puppet, but it's rigged as hell, so Sinon doesn't recommend even trying. However, she is not familiar with the level of steez Kirito has because he steps up to the game and is really out there weaving bullets. He gets to the rigged phase, but that shit is still light and he just predicts the bullets and wins all the cheese. Something nobody in the series has done before. He's trying to find a blick, but stumbles across the lightsabers. And shit, he is not even listening to reason anymore, he just cops one. And of course he buys the black one too. Never changed, Kirito. Okay, so it turns out Kirito's booty cheeks with a blick, but at least we know he's human now. Then Sinon realizes they're about to be late to sign up and starts stressing. They find these rental buggies that are apparently very hard to drive, but of course Kirito can just do that shit effortlessly. Alright bro, you are not me, Marlon or Duke, you can chill out now. So they're all signed up and Sinon discovers Kirito is actually a guy because he isn't trying to get changed next to her. And then finally the BOB preliminaries begin. Now Kirito loads into his first match and he very quickly realizes that shit is not all sweet in this world because he's getting sprayed at immediately. He dodges most of the bullets but still gets caught. But then he thinks to himself, wait, I'm really him, and locks in. He pinpoints the opponent and realizes he ain't even have to dodge for real. He can just deflect the bullets with his photon sword on some Star Wars shit. And that's exactly what he does. This is Kirito we're talking about, so he just slows him. He ends up back in the lobby and Deathgun sneaks up on him and asks,
"Put it on guard, you're the real deal."
And Kirito hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. He's trying to figure out where he's seen this guy before. He's running through every possibility like he's Doctor Strange before finally seeing something that rejogs his memory. The symbol of Laughing Coffin. You know, the group of killers from back in SAO? Who would have thought that they'd still be kicking it after all this time? Then Deathgun like,
"Never mind, it doesn't matter if you're rep or real. I'm gonna switch you down regardless."
and then he just leaves. This nigga better watch his mouth talking to my boy Sweet. That's what happened to the last guy who tried that shit. Now, Kirito's reminiscing about the time he was forced to drop 2 members of Laughing Coffin, and he's suffering from his own PTSD. He got the same look on his face as the time Sinon saw a gun. Then he's put into his next preliminary game, and Kirito is still a dog, so he grits his teeth and thugs it out. He runs headfirst to his opponent and beats him. Sinon no lifts the next opponent and is immediately put in a game against Kirito. And I don't know what it is, but he is walking Sinon down looking cold as hell. Now Sinon is stressed. Kirito's aura is just leaking all over the place. She can't even keep it together. Shit will probably happen to me too. You're not alone. You are not alone. She lets the bullet fly, but that does not connect, nor do the next 15. Now she's out of focus. And Kirito's just looking at her, and she pulls up and is pouring her heart out, talking about some, "This game is my life. I'm out here sweating, and you're just aura farming. And this gaming shit really bigger than black and white. Let me find out I'm on my main, and somebody else in the lobby who plays that character doesn't think I'm worth running the ones against. Shit, I'll be crashing out too." My fault, twin. Let's restart when this bullet hits the ground. And Sinon thinks he's mocking her, because at that range, Kirito will really get slimed by that 50 cal in her hands. But shit. It's Kirito. Flicks the bullet up and the game commences. And in that moment, Sinon shoots her Hecate sniper. However, this Kirito nigga simply cuts the bullet in half. Shit, I'm not even gonna dwell on this, cause I know at this point he's thinking, you know who I am. Y'all know who I am. Now he closes the distance and puts his blade to Sinon. And of course, old buddy got his arm wrapped around her waist. Yeah, because you needed more bad bitches, Kirito. Man, f you. Then they bond over their trauma and Sinon forfeits. Though they're both still in the finals for the Bullet of Bullet tournament. So the main event kicks off, and this is where we get to dig into the meat and potatoes of this whole arc. So Sinon has her sights on this fodder, but is suddenly attacked from behind, though it's just Kirito. Realistically, these guys should get banned though, because they're teaming in a battle royale. Kirito asks Sinon to just watch for a moment as he's trying to catch Death Gun, and after one of the participants beats the other one, he gives the green light to shoot. But before Sinon can do so, he's taken out by someone else and is left stunned on the ground. Kirito and Sinon are confused as hell though, because they didn't even hear any bullets, so they should assume it's a silent snipe. And just as they finish their conversation, Death Gun shows up again, and he ups his pistol on the stunned guy. The question is, why didn't he just finish him off with the sniper? He's even making a cross before the fight is even over. This is disrespectful. But that's all it took for Kirito to decide, oh shit, he needs to shoot him like right now. Sinon shoots, but Death Gun weaves and shoots the other opponent. This doesn't kill him in game, but it sure does kill him in real life. Then Death Gun points the blick at the camera, where all Kirito's friends are watching from. And these niggas are still on Alphine, man, I'm dead. Give it up, we are not rolling with Alphine, we on Gun Gale now. He's saying some corny shit like, "My power is true, yada yada yada. Just wait till my boy Kirito gets you, man." So Death Gun leaves, but after the UAV scan, he isn't showing up on the map. That's when they decide it'll be better to work together. But hey, you know that there's no rest in this bitch, because somebody is immediately going to test their teamwork. The opponent lets his gun fly, and I'm just gonna let you see Kirito Steve's real time. Is this not the coldest guy around? But look how he's moving. He's blocking bullets aimed at 2 people, doing flips on the spot and shit. This is some serious stuff. And you know Sinon isn't no slouch either. She blows up this guy's intestines right after. And these guys just go back to talking about Death Gun. Damn, old buddy just died for zero reason. They got zero impact on the story. Kirito and Sinon do another scan. I think Death Gun's in-game name is some sort of play on words for the name Death Gun, and that player is in the same vicinity as them, so they plan to intercept him before he reaches his next target. And yo, look at the signal Sinon gives to Kirito. Like, gang, stop trying to look cool, there was zero reason to do this. Sinon uses one of her abilities and is able to find out where Death Gun is, so you know Mr. White Knight never duck a fade is all like, "I'll chase him, you just have my back," and runs off into the sunset. Now this has always worked before, but unfortunately Death Gun is really grimy and he snipes Sinon from the shadows. How he's there, I don't know. He wastes no time and pulls out his tool, and Sinon realizes it's the same one she had used to kill the robber from her past. And yeah, this is gonna send her into a mini episode. She wouldn't be able to defend herself even without the paralysis. And then Death Gun lets his piece sing. Never mind, we got baited. Death Gun gets shot by Kirito, who I low-key forgot even had a gun. He smoke grenades them and carries Sinon out. They find a buggy to escape on, and Kirito asks Sinon to blow up the spare horse so Death Gun can't catch up. But that PTSD is hitting and she can't bring herself to shoot. And now they're in a high-speed hawkdown, but Death Gun is really closing in on them. But Sinon can't do it. But that's until Kirito puts his hand on hers and his aura seeps into her body. That's my bad, pause. They fly up a ramp and Sinon is able to shoot, but she misses. I ain't gonna lie, she's not G.I. Joe. However, fortunately, the bullet hits a nearby car and just blows up next to Death Gun, and because of that, they escape. So they're taking refuge in this cave for a while, and in this period, Kirito is trying to console Sinon, but she just feels like he's treating her as a kid. So minutes and Kirito Riz later, we have Sinon's head on this married man's lap, and they're telling each other the most traumatic experiences in their life. I mean, I've been said it, bro. You ever need tips on the ladies? Just look at what Kirito's doing. This is another level of greatness. But it's at this point things take a more sinister turn. Both of them are trying to figure out how Deathgun goes about killing people in game and in real life, and come to the conclusion that Deathgun has an accomplice who actually breaks into people's homes and stops their heart with lethal injection. Now, assuming the police force is like semi-competent, this wouldn't be possible to go unnoticed, but for the anime's sake, let's pretend this can happen. They figure the cross sign he does before killing someone is to communicate with the real life killer. And how did they even go about this distribution of labor? One nigga is a literal serial killer, the other guy's just an edgy guy playing video games. Though the problem is that Deathgun seemed to be targeting Sinon, specifically in their last encounter, meaning there is dead ass somebody in her home with a syringe ready to end her life. Kirito is telling Sinon to calm down. Calm down? What do you think this is? My life is at stake. So now their plan is to intercept Deathgun while eliminating the other so-called best GGO player. And look how the scene is set. Moon out, dark as hell, and Kirito's just blowing in the wind. Matter of fact, who is he feeling like? Oh, buddy's posted like he's Batman. He's in the zone though and is really listening out for all his ops. He hears Yamikaze, who's the other best GGO player, but he trusts that Sinon is going to deal with him. All that's left is Deathgun, and Deathgun is no rookie. His sniper is gonna shoot first, but I'm telling you, Kirito's in straight flow state and weaves the bullet. Now here's the climax. He draws his photon blade and starts deflecting and dodging the incoming sniper shot. And speaking of those, Sinon just no-diffs the other dude. They low-key got the nerf snipers in this. Now Sinon lines up the next shot, but Deathgun ain't no slouch. He lines up his shit too, and they both shoot at the same time. We get the cinematic shot of both bullets going past each other before reaching their target. However, the two of them miss and hit each other's guns, leaving the snipers out for the battle. But the former Laughing Coffin member is of course able to use a sword, so he just swaps it out. They engage, but hey, Deathgun got a little handle on him because he swerves Kirito and hits this nice counter. All now in the real world, Asuna came to Kirito and he's hyperventilating and sweating. They must really be boxing in there. It cuts back to Kirito and Deathgun and they're having this clean face off. I'm sure Kirito must really feel like Ichigo right now. The two of them are just shit talking each other now.
Man, you really a bitch. You're not a gangster.
Who not gangster? And this is a universal phrase to commence all boxing. So just like that, they low-key going bang for bang, and everyone is watching this shit like it's Kyrie versus Curry in 2016. Asuna in the real world is trying to come for Kirito, and Yui's on the phone talking about some help daddy. How did they even get you on the phone? I'm sorry, but you are not on the team right now. We cut back to the fight, and Kirito's kinda getting worked, I'm not gonna lie. They keep clashing, and then Kirito hits his mean Omni movement slide cancel to dodge, but it's not enough. Deathgun is still on his ass. But when Kirito gets a close-up of him, he begins to remember which Laughing Coffin member he actually is. Somebody called Red-Eyed Zaza. So this nigga was just high when he booted up the game and picked the first two things that came to mind. Got it. Now Sinon has her sights back on him, which is enough of a distraction for Deathgun to try and retrieve using the invisibility cloak. But Kirito's on that. He pulls out his tool and envisions it as if he's dual wielding. And you know once he gets that second blade, he's unstoppable. He just sprays him down with the switch, then cuts him clean with the photon sword. Now Sinon and Kirito walk towards each other talking about some, it's over. They have the ambient music in the background. You know, it's a slow vibe, but what about this is over? There's an active serial killer in your own room and you're talking about some, it's over. Hell no. Not to mention she's whispering her government name in Kirito's ear like Sinon. This man is married, keep it together. And Kirito, you're not safe either, just break the news to her. So Kirito's still looking to run the ones versus Sinon, but she thinks he's too banged up for all of that and decides they'll end it in a draw. And she does this how? By blowing them both up. She activates the bomb and throws it to Kirito before giving him a big hug. They even use the same animation for when Kirito and Asuna were dead ass about to die. Like, yo, please stop tarnishing my memory of this scene. Now they open their eyes in the real world and thankfully nobody's in Sinon's room. Her IRL friend, you know the one who snitched on her bullies way back when, rings the doorbell and arrives in her room. He's on some simp glacier saying, you're the best around, I waited all this time for you to be mine. And he sneak dissing too, talking about some, we don't need that bum Kirito, I'll protect you forever. Now pause. To all my ladies, what was the issue in all the things that he said? Was it A, you're the best around? B, I can't wait for you to be mine? Or C, we don't need that bum? No, it was D. This nigga said I'll protect you forever. If a nigga ever says this to you, please aim for the balls and run. He is no longer savable. And peep his face before he bear hugs her. And she clearly doesn't mess with him. Now we all watched the Alpha mark, so we know the type of timing he's on from here. See, this is some wicked shit. He pulls out a syringe and points it to her skin. Yes, he is the guy who's going around killing people for Deathgun. But Sinon got that dog in her and she catches him with this smooth ass elbow. Yeah. Beat this nigga's ass. Okay, it's not going that well for her right now. She low-key fails to escape, and just as shit is about to get bad, I don't even got to say it. Kirito steps into function and he opens up with a knee to the face. The last two attacks Buddy held were straight from John Jones' catalogue. He might have to pick up some self-defense classes. The weirdo flips Kirito over and he's real life about to end Kirito because he gets him with the syringe. Sinon hits his head over with a radio knocking him out, but Kirito's got and starts hyperventilating. Unfortunately, this is SAO, so he has one of his heart rate monitors where he got injected, so this shit didn't even catch him. He was just overreacting for vibes. A couple days pass and her bullies show up again. This time they're asking for 20 bands. I'm dead. Like, this shit isn't even feasible, so they might as well just shoot me right now. Wait. Pause! Why do they have a real life switch in this bitch? What are the police doing? What are the police doing? Hold on, why did she actually try to pull the trigger too? Lucky the safety was on. What is wrong with these people? But this is the new scene, so she didn't even act up too crazy. And she low-key drops her nuts in their mouth by unlocking the safety and then giving the gun back to them. Then Sinon's classmates be asking her who's that waiting for her out in the front. And look at Kirito, man, who is he feeling like? Nigga leaning on his motorcycle outside of a secondary school. Somebody stop him. So yeah, the two death guns were arrested and the police finally did their job. Kirito brings Sinon to the cafe all the SAO guys hang out at, and she introduces all of them to Sinon. She sees the people she saved back when she shot the robber, and they have this heartfelt moment. Then yeah, that's effectively Gun Girl wrapped up. One of my favorite parts of the series, with Sinon, who's one of my favorite characters in the show. It all gets a bit wonky at the end in usual SAO fashion, but hey, that's life. I don't know when the next SAO video will be, depending on the reception of this one, but hey, if there's one more, it'll likely be Alicization or the Ordinal Scale movie. Honestly, I don't really care for the second part of season 2 because they're back in that fuck ass game Alfheim. Anyway, recording this video was a blast from the past. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really shows me that you guys actually like the videos I'm putting out. And it's been Narratives. Peace. No. On dead homies, like and subscribe. Like, what the fuck is this?